Hi guys, welcome back. In today's session, we will be taking up transactions related to asset accounting. In my previous session, we discussed about depreciation keys. As well, we created an asset master. Today's session, as I told you, we will be taking up asset transactions. What do my transactions include? Transactions include such as acquisitions, depreciation run, then retirements, and report. Okay, now today's session is all devoted to transactions in an asset accounting. I can give you a brief recap of what we have done in previous session related to asset master. As you know, T code for creating an asset is AS01. Now, what if wish to view the asset which I have already created? You can go to AS02. AS02 is to chain an asset as well as view, and AS03 is to view an asset, display only, no changings. It's up to you whether you wish to just log in. Now, this was my asset number 1, and continue. Remember, this was the asset we created with useful life of 5 years. All right, and now let's head to transactions. The first transaction is acquisition of fixed assets. Under acquisition, external acquisition, F-90 with vendor. So the first is acquisitions, and the T code for the same is F-90. Let's go inside. Document date, same as today. Document type being KR because I'm acquiring an asset from a vendor. It's a regular vendor transaction. Posting key is 931, of course. Now, excuse me. By the way, till now, such as GL, AP, and AR, T codes, let me be specific to T codes, such as FB50, FB60, and FB70. We have been using debits and credits in the transaction. But asset accounting, you won't find debits and credits. You will have to use the posting keys. Yes. How do you know? For example, I need to debit an asset. What do I enter here? Debit for an asset is 7070. Look, 70 debit asset. I drop down and I see my asset here. Okay. What if I want to credit a vendor? I would use 31. 31 is for creating a vendor. Just as you go for drop down, system will understand that using your posting key, system can understand what are you willing to enter here. All right, understood? When I use 70 here, system showed me the list of assets upon drop down. Now when I use 31, which is for vendor credit, system is showing me the list of vendors here. I hope you understood. So the JV or the accounting entry which we are going to pass is my asset debit and vendor credit. Okay, so it's vice versa. You can credit first, then debit, or debit or credit. It's up to you. So here I have used my credit vendor. In the next screen, I would use debit my asset amount. Let it be, for example, 9,000. Business area is mandatory somehow. You can use any business area, doesn't matter for now, because we haven't checked out document splitting concept or topic. It's of no relevance for us whatever business area you choose. Text is mandatory. Someone has set this thing mandatory throughout the system. I'll have to check. Now, we have already credited my vendor. What's up? What should be the second? What should be the second item? It is asset debit. 70. Yeah, this is my asset. Well, you must be wondering what is this 1-0? 1 stands for main asset and 0 stands for a sub asset. Best example could be a UPS, uninterrupted power supply unit for a desktop. Because what does a UPS do? UPS provides an uninterrupted power supply to a desktop, right, in case of emergencies. Hence, desktop is your main asset, whereas your UPS is a sub asset to that desktop. Or the desktop is your main asset, the furniture or the table on which the desktop is placed is your sub asset. Okay, I hope you understood. Look, as soon as I press enter, you will be seeing an error. Yes, enter a transaction type. This is for the first time till now you will be seeing this error. Look what it says, this T type, transaction type. In assets accounting, it is mandatory that you choose transaction type for every transaction. There are many transaction types, for example, 221, do not panic, it's 100 for your case. External asset acquisition, because I'm acquiring an asset externally, well, it has no impact as of now, but in reporting, transaction type is something which is going to help you to seek whenever you want to see that what was this, how did this asset got added to my books of accounts or my asset class or my gross block. Then this transaction type helps you that this was an external asset acquisition. So basically this is for reporting purposes only. Choose 100 and press enter again. You're not done yet. This is the last screen. Well, there were many entries till now. Many screens, but it was a decent entry which you have posted till now. That's a warning you can ignore. This was the only entry we posted. My vendor credit and asset debit. This is what you wanted, right? Debit my asset and credit my vendor. This is what we are doing. And post. It says quantity thing, leave. That's okay. Ignore the warnings, press enter. It says document 1015 was posted in company code. Now, how about look, there were two aspects of this document. One was your vendor getting credit here, which you can check in FBL1N. How about assets? As you had GL line items, customer line items, vendor line items, do we also have asset line items? Yes. There is a report, but you don't explicitly call it asset line items. Instead, we call it Asset Explorer. Yes, the T code is AW01N. You can find this in easy access. You can just explore. Well, this is Asset Explorer AW01N. You enter your company code, asset 1, and year. System shall show you the transactions. The acquisition value, these are plant values. Basically, you can go to posted and check. Acquisition value is 9,000 here. Okay, the transaction type is 100. I told you that this transaction type tells you how did this asset got added to my gross block or block of assets. Next. Here you see these are the depreciations. Well, you may need to just explore this T code as much as you can because there are a lot of informations in the following tabs as well. You will understand them. That's not so hard. You will see that these are planned depreciation, not posted yet. Once we post, then you see posted here. What should be the depreciation according to you on 9,000? System says it's 150 because I have acquired it in March. That is the last month of an year. Okay, so it's like this. There you are. Under comparisons, you will see since my asset useful life is for 5 years, system shall be calculating 9,000 by 5. Okay, and the calculation is 1800 an year, and per month is 150. Okay, and it should be working till 2022. I hope you understood this. This is a very basic accounting concept, nothing new, nothing new in SAP. Now, since this is a planned depreciation run 150, let's post this depreciation. Next, we are done with acquisitions. Next, depreciation run AFAB is the T code. Let's run the depreciation. Excuse me. /O AFAB. There you go. Company code, fiscal year, and posting period. For which posting period do you think that you should post a depreciation? It's period 12 only, because from the beginning, right from April 2017 till now, there are no values. If you wish to post, you can use any of the posting dates. When acquiring an asset, system shall calculate depreciation from when you acquire an asset. Posting period 12. Here, few things. This is something very important for interviewers. So interviewers ask many questions out of these things here. The first, planned posting run. What is a planned posting run? This is that the depreciation should be posted each month in a sequence. The condition is that the depreciation should start at the beginning of the year. That means the first month of the year, and it should be continuing in a sequence. For example, the first period, April, then May, June, July, August, September. The period should not be skipped anywhere. Okay, next, repeat. Repeat is, for example, I run a depreciation. Okay, but due to valuations or certain rules, when a percentage of depreciation or the total cost of an asset is changed, then there is a necessity for you to rerun the depreciation, or in simple terms you can say recalculation of depreciation. This is what the repeat does. Okay, next, restart. Restart is not similar to repeat. In fact, for example, I run a depreciation for the month of March. System says that depreciation has run, but I don't see values posted in the books of accounts. That means there is some technical error inside. Okay, and system is not letting me post another depreciation. It is saying that the depreciation has already been posted. So you can either go for the next period, because you haven't posted the depreciation, you cannot rerun the period. Hence, restart depreciation is used where there are some technical defects or technical problem during the depreciation run. Next, unplanned posting run. Look, unplanned posting run is like is quite opposite to what planned posting run was. Unplanned posting run need not be from the beginning of the year. It need not be sequential for all the months. It can skip the periods. No, completely opposite to what planned posting run was. I hope you understood. So what do you think? Should we go with planned posting run? Let's see. And this test run is something which prevents you from directly posting the depreciation. Test run will help you to simulate the results first. Okay, let's do that. It says yes, please do that. Only up to 100,000 assets and so on. Well, there's an error here. Test run was terminated, refer to error log. Where do I find error log? It's either here, error list, or under go to error log. Both are same. What does it say? Number in 05 has not been created. So what do you do? Come on, this is very basic error which you have been seeing each and every time for new transactions, where you would see a red message ribbon at the bottom saying that number range is missing. It's the same thing, just for the difference that it is in a separate information box. So let's go to FBN1 and maintain a number range 05. That's it. Very simple. Intervals. Yeah. This is Shift F1 is the shortcut. I just use that. 5, 2017, 7,000, 7,999. Well, I'm creating this for 2017. Maybe when I enter April, I will have to use the fresh number ranges. That's very simple. You can copy the number ranges from year to year, from 2017 to 2018. There's an option. So that would simplify your life. Okay, I maintain the number in 05 as per the error. I go back and rerun. Let's see what system tells now. Well, there is still an error log. What do we do? According to posting cycle, you should post period 001. So what do we do? If I enter 001, what would happen? Depreciation, no depreciation will get posted. No values, no accounting entries, but the system's logic is satisfied basically. Plan posting run means it should be starting from the beginning of the year and sequentially. That is actually the best practice. I understand. But I'm not at a liberty, or I don't have much time to run each period till 11th period and then run 12th period. Sorry, I'll be running directly 12th and unplanned posting run. How does it sound? Anyway, that's end of the here, correct? I can do that. So the depreciation posting is 150. If you see the amounts in green, that means everything is fine. It says test run completed successfully. Now, how do we execute this? Now, kindly note the process. Remove the test run, and it's just not executing from here. You know what happens? Nothing. When I execute from the front end, that is the foreground, system says that this process can only be carried out as background processing. So there are few steps or few clicks you need to do for depreciation posting. You need to go to program, execute in the background. LP01 is the device, as we already discussed in the Dunning program, and this green check mark. Okay, that's an information, fine. When do you want to execute this? Any specific date or time? I would say immediately and save. What does system say? Background job was scheduled for program so and so. Rapos 2000 is an internal program used by assets accounting. All right. How do I know that there is some program? I can go here, own jobs, where is Rapost? There it is. Rapost 2000. Okay, by me, of course. You can also have a log here. This was the log. In case there were many hundred or thousand assets, you will find them here. Okay, so according to the system that the depreciation has been run, program has been successfully run. Let's go to Asset Explorer and refresh. How do you refresh? Here's an icon, refresh. Well, let's see what posted values show. There you go. It says posted. 12th period is now posted. Values which were 0 from first period to 11th period are gone. All right. So do you want to check an accounting entry? We can check an accounting entry here. You can either go to FB03 or mm, click on the posted icon. Let's see if it shows. Hmm. Okay, here you find that this was the entry and the reference document is this. I would select this and look, this is the accounting entry. My depreciation account debit and accumulated depreciation account credit. If you remember, these were the GLs which you have assigned in account determination when we were creating an asset class. This is the reason why it was called account determination, because these are not manually entered postings. System posts them automatically. This is the reason why account determination was required. Now, let's come back to Excel. Fine. We have seen acquisitions, depreciation run, and report AW01N. Now, as a last topic, let's go with retirements. For retirement, there are few things I need to tell you. Okay, I tell them separately. Under retirement, there are two. With customer and without customer. Okay, let me take you to the screen, you will understand better. In fact, not only without customer, there is also with revenue and without revenue as well. I'll take you to that. You'll understand better. Posting, retirement. Okay, there are two. Retirement with revenue and without revenue. Okay. Then in with revenue, there is with customer and without customer. Okay. So there are basically two, I would say, with revenue and without revenue. With revenue is my regular sales. Without revenue is scrap sales. If you remember, we discussed this in account determination. When I'm just retiring my asset without revenue, without any income, is basically scrap. Correct? Next, under with revenue, there are two cases where I know a customer, he exists in my database, or a person who does not exist in my database. I'm just turning out my asset. Let's see with revenue first. So here's the path: accounting, financial accounting, fixed assets, posting, retirement, retirement with revenue, F-92 with customer. Okay, here you enter the date. Document type is DR, my customer document type. 01 stands for customer debit. I choose a customer. Then amount, I acquired it for 9,000, so let me sell it away for 5,000. How much is the loss? Not 4,000. You will have to subtract the depreciation as well, which was calculated here. You should use 50 and my asset revenue account. Where's my revenue account? Asset sales, plant and machinery sales revenue. All right, and it's 5,000. You'll find a check mark here, asset retirement. If you don't find this check mark in when you're practicing, please go to field status variance of this GL account and just make this asset retirement thing optional. Select this check mark, press enter, enter your asset number here. It's 1-0. Value date, today's date, or let it be month and date. Complete retirement. If you want to go with partial retirement, you can go with that. Currently, let me take complete retirement. And transaction type is by default 210 with that is retirement with revenue. This check mark automatically goes off. That's fine. And simulate. Just find the document entry, the journal entry here. My customer is getting a debit of 5,000, correct? My sales revenue is 5,000, correct? I'm selling it for 5,000. My asset accounting is getting credit with 9,000, the whole amount, fine. And also getting debit of 150, which was my depreciation. Next, sales revenue is again 5,000. Oops, sorry. And the gain or loss is 3,850. This is what I told you. When I acquired an asset for 9,000 and I'm selling it for 5,000, the loss ideally should be 4,000. But since I have already calculated depreciation, I have used my asset for up to some 150, that should be reduced from my loss. So the total loss is 3,850, not 4,000, because I have used 150 of my machinery. I have used it. And post. Your document is posted. Now let's check Asset Explorer for the impact. AW01N is the T code you already know. Look, values are gone. What does it say under transactions? I acquired an asset on 12th of March for 9,000 and I sold it. Current year acquisition with revenue amount total 9,000 is gone out of my gross block. 5,000 was my retirement revenue. 150 was depreciation and loss is 3,850. Okay, this 9,000 minus means that the 9,000 worth of asset which I already had is retired for 5,000. Okay, I hope you understood. That was all for assets and retirements. Retirement with revenue with customer it was. Let me take you to other variants of this retirement. Let's go for ABAON, asset sale without customer. Here, this is the screen is pretty simple. No much complications here. What you need to do is just enter your asset number, date, and value date. Value date plays a very prominent role in asset sorry, in asset transactions. For example, if in the retirement which I just did, if I had taken 28th February, the depreciation 150 wouldn't have been considered. Okay, because the depreciation was calculated at the end of the March. And if I had taken 28th February as my asset sale date, system wouldn't have calculated the depreciation of 150 in my previous transaction. Hence, asset value date is very important. So what should be the revenue when I'm selling it? revenue being 4,000. Well, system cannot post this transaction because I don't have an asset. What does it say? Okay, value date not allowed because I already posted the transaction. Let me take for next month. That's okay. Leave the fiscal year thing. What the problem here is that I have already posted the asset and it is completely nullified. You don't have an asset with you. How can you retire something? Okay, try it out. To try this variant, you will have to reacquire an asset. Okay, and then retire it. You can try that. That's very simple. If you enter manual revenue here, this is what the revenue you're getting. Revenue from net book value is, for example, my net book value was 8,850. That is 9,000 minus 150 depreciation. The system would automatically use 8,850 for retirement. That is no gain, no loss. Next. Where are my scraps is here. ABAVN, asset retirement by scrapping. This is much more simple where you don't have an option of revenue, entering a revenue as you had in the previous screen. You only enter the date and post. Okay, so just try it for yourselves. These are pretty simple things. Next, a very important thing such as year end activities. Okay, what are the year end activities? When you're at the end of the year, you close your books of accounts. Okay, before closing the books of accounts, you need to transfer your asset accounting year to the next year. There are two steps here, AJRW and AJAB. AJRW is like, changing a fiscal year, which does not have much impact. I'll show you. There's a note over here which says the fiscal year change is only a technical step needed in order to carry forward all assets to new fiscal year. The fiscal year change has nothing to do with the year-end closing for bookkeeping. In order to close the annual values asset accounting for given fiscal year, you are required to carry on year-end closing in asset accounting before the year-end closing for the general ledger. Now, what is system talking about? AJRW is merely a very, not so important T code for transferring your assets. What important is AJAB here. This is important. This closes your asset fiscal year and you cannot post any more entries in asset accounting. Oops, what did I enter? 9001. What did I enter? Let me check. Oh, I entered a wrong company code, sorry. System says close not carried out, no other error. However, to close a fiscal year, you should have all the depreciations run properly in your system and all the depreciation for all the assets for all the months should have been posted. These are some prerequisites. So the two T codes are AJRW and AJAB. After you're done with AJAB, you can proceed to AJRW, enter your company code, new fiscal year, and execute. That's it, you're done. Now, I'm not executing them in an update run. I'm already updating them in the test run because there are some more days left. I'm not going to just close this fiscal year. Okay, so finally, after the third session of an asset accounting, we have successfully completed assets accounting here. That's it in asset accounting. There are many interview questions in asset accounting, such as which are regarding to these topics only: charter depreciation, depreciation areas, asset classes, depreciation key, asset master transaction. That's it. So prepare well. That's it for asset accounting. In next topic, I may take up either new GL, parallel ledger, doctrine splitting, or taxes. Let's see. And thank you very much for your time. See you. Bye bye.